Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Hek'ma Harrison, DeMontre Moore, and Newy Scruggs.
Yo, here we are, Players Lounge time, coming to you from the SWBC Podcast Studio in Frisco, Texas International, headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys. We got Hek'ma Harrison.
I'm in here.
Building. DeMontre Moore is in the building. I am Newy Scruggs. The show is brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. Barry Church will join us shortly here. All right, gentlemen. Free agency.
Yes.
They made some moves
Yes.
just today. So today at 11:30, they start conference calls with Dante Fowler.
Okay.
Got 10.5 sacks last year. Receiver Paris Campbell and running back Miles Sanders. So just with those three, they're going to talk to the media today.
Man,
How you feel just staying with those three guys right here, Trey?
I'm liking it. I'm loving it. We brought in a double-digit sack leader. Paris Campbell had the pleasure of playing with him at the Colts, and my time and tenure of seeing there, that man was a professional even when he was young. So to know that he's coming in here, like, I think he's going to be a great key component right now for we're filling a lot of holes right now that need to be filled, and I'm excited with these three signings. We said we need to make moves. Well, moves have been made, so less pressure when it comes to our approach when it comes to the draft.
Hek'ma.
You gotta forgive me because I only know about Campbell from a statistic standpoint, and so we were talking about it last week, and I was saying, look, the Cowboys need playmakers, and I understand you bringing in a guy that has some, he's long in the tooth, been in the league for a while, but a guy that can help them offensively. How much help can he give to this receiving corps is what I'm asking myself. You know, what kind of impact can he make? We know for sure that CeeDee Lamb needs a running mate. I don't know if they found that yet, and if they're going into the draft to do that, they have a bunch of options. How early do they go for those options is what I'm asking myself. Dante Fowler, we know we were getting out of Dante Fowler, but Dante Fowler was a rotational piece when he was here. Will he be a rotational piece here again? We need a starter because of Sam Williams coming off of his injury. We know what we got from Marshawn Nealon last season. So we need a guy that's going to be able to get the majority of the sacks. Does he still have that in him? And I think from a running back standpoint, we talked about that. Obviously, we know the impact that the Williams is going to be able to have on third down, and I'm excited about that.
Let's just stay right there talking about Fowler.
As far as when it comes to Fowler, I like what I see in him and what he did last year. As far as when it comes to will he be a starter and will he be that big name guy? No, he's not going to be that big name guy. We know who it is. Michael Parsons is Batman. He will be Robin. But with that being said, you cannot negate the fact of being a veteran. Just us being who we are, like being a journeyman, like that key component of you just coming in there, having that leadership, having the success, and being a playoff caliber winner. You seen how I felt over there. Then on top of that, you got your energy rejuiced and got a second win with you becoming double-digit sack. I think you can't pay for experience, and that's what he's going to bring and be that X factor in him. And then as far as back to Noah Brown, do I think he's going to come in and be the big playmaker like that? No, he's not going to be the big playmaker like that.
Yeah,
but Noah,
Barry Church is here.
I'm sorry, Paris.
You did say Noah Brown.
I said Noah Brown because Paris Campbell, I think he can come in and be that Noah Brown for us as far as being a dependable receiver and a guy on special teams that's going to do that and be hardworking and not demand the stars and just ready to work.
All right, so stay on Fowler. Talking about the free agent signs here.
Okay.
Church, good year, former
like
Cowboy
that. Hey.
safety. So today they're going to the media, the conference call with Dante Fowler, Paris Campbell, and Miles Sanders. So church music playing here.
Church music because
back,
church.
baby. We
Hey,
back.
what they say? Hold on, no. Now that we got the church music, donate to the tithes for dinner. We'll talk about that later.
Short arms.
Don't I know it?
Oh,
When the bill come, everybody get like this.
T-Rex.
Yeah, go ahead.
Reptile.
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Go ahead, man. What you got?
Dante Fowler, 10.5 sacks last year, Washington. And
Should have never left the building a couple years ago, but
so when I look at what he brings to you, yes, rotational pieces where you're going to get the best out of him. You no longer have Tank Lawrence in the building, but Tank didn't do anything for you last year. So you've got Micah Parsons, and we talk about Did I just tell a lie?
No, there was no
Here you
lies
go again. No,
There was no lies.
Did I tell a lie?
lies told.
He has not. Let's be real.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Last year,
I interrupted what you were saying. You're leading up to the Dante Fowler. I apologize.
There's no lies told, but
So you talk about Nealon. Mm-hmm. You talk about
off
Sam
ACL,
Williams, right? Nealon, Sam Williams, and you've got Fowler here. Last year we talked about the lack of depth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see this, you're throwing some bodies at the position with an opportunity to still bring in more.
Mm-hmm.
But as of now, March 20th, they're a heck of a lot better than they were when the season ended at that position, in my opinion. Having Fowler back in the building is a help. Now, I'm not, hey, man, give me another 10 and a half. No, man, if this guy comes up here and gives you 6 to 7, you take that. You're asking Sam Williams has spent, before he got hurt, was, I need my opportunity. Mm-hmm. I'm tired and not, okay, go. Here you go. And at some point in time, if you're about draft and develop, you need to draft and develop. You need Nealon. You need Sam. Come be these guys that we thought you were when we used day 2 picks on you.
Yes.
And if those guys pan out, you're talking about the Sam Williams and the Nealons of the world, if those guys pan out, then I'm going to totally agree with you that they're better at that position than they were last year. The only thing that, we've had time, proof, and consistency with is when guys go down with those knee injuries, those ACLs, when they come back that next year, it's not always a highly productive player or the player that we've seen previously. Check out Michael Gallup. Check out, Trayvon Diggs in that situation. So if we're putting all our eggs on those rotational pieces to go out there and be productive, I'm not so sure that that's the right technique that they need to go forward in this year.
Being a former defensive lineman, I'm going to piggyback off of that. I'm going to counter argue as far as that. Yes, you might not have that production or have that same spring in your step, but you're not counting on all those pieces to be those guys. If one of those 2 pieces become those guys, then guess what? You're good because you got your horse in Michael Parson. Yeah. And then after that, you have Dante Fowler, who's a proven veteran that just came off a double-digit sack and playoff wins. We all know only 3 defensive ends play. Most organizations, you might get 4 if you do special team. So you can use Sam as that 4th guy that potentially is working his way back, get comfortable, and making those plays on special teams. And even if it's not him, you still have capital and room to draft right now because of all the flexibility of bringing in other people. So it's not as big of a need, but there will be opportunity for all of them. So we'll see how it works. It doesn't always work like that. Most of the time it takes you a year or at least half that year to get back to feeling like yourself, maybe even a full year. But now at least he has that opportunity, and there are more pieces there. Like you said, you got better because Tank Lawrence was hurt last year. And then even the year before that, did he really give you something like that? So with this Dante Fowler pickup, it is a great pickup in my opinion. Like, you cannot cut him no slack. You cannot pay for experience, and you can't pay for winning. He knows how it feels. He was in the playoffs last year and was a key rotational piece. He knows where he's coming in right now. Whatever I do is house money. If we get 6 or 7 sacks, great.
I love Dante. One of my teammates in Jacksonville. But can he be that starting piece, the dependable piece on that outside? I love him as a rotational piece. I love him as a guy that 3rd down specialist. We need a pass rush. He is the guy when it comes to that. Okay. But we've seen it when he was here in the past. The up top, the mental mistakes that come with a Dante Fowler.
But you're older now. You learn from those mental mistakes.
So you missed it. You missed it when you came in. That's what.
Oh,
I missed that one.
You missed that part. Shots fired. No shots. That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
It was like, look, the 10.5 sacks is great. He's in a Dan Quinn system that's going to give you everything that's in his wheelhouse to do. Hey, freestyle out there. If you want to break that thing inside, you could do it. You could go inside. You don't have to play discipline to the scheme. And so the only thing that my apprehension on him is, how is Eberflus's defense, if this is a lineman assignment?
Keep the edge. That's what I'm saying.
Boom. And we saw so many times. We saw so many times where we come in here and we're like, what in the hell is Dante? And he would freestyle on his own. Again, rotational piece, a guy that had 10.5 sacks. That's not an accident. That's because you're playing on the defense that's mauling people and you're getting after them.
And it's the coach, too.
Boom.
He loved that. He loved playing in that system.
You love Dan Quinn, but
loose. It's so structured. Like, if you jump inside,
Oh man,
it's over
So
with.
you're a defensive guy, former player. Let me talk to the player. What system does Dan Quinn run?
He runs that 4-3.
A 4-3 wide. What system does Eberflus run?
4-3.
4-3 wide. Same thing. Now, Dan Quinn does give his playmakers the flexibility to play because guess what? He has veteran players that know the system, and that comes with trust. But it is a penetration defense. You have to just get up the field and hold the edge, or if you don't hold the edge, get up under. Both of them are the same scheme. Like, let's not.
The thing you
talk
said
about it
was
different.
he had those veterans on that second level, the Bobby Wagners, the Frankie Louvu's, who can if you can erase those mistakes. If he jumps inside, Bobby Wagner's like, okay, I got you. Who's on the second level for the boys right now? You got Overshown, who's a rookie, unbelievable. He's going injury.
Don't count on
don't
that.
count.
You can't count on that, right?
Yeah.
Hendricks, he's not in the building.
Mars Leofow.
Leofow, second year in the league.
You got Buddy Johnson.
But
My
these
dog
are guys that aren't going to
Aggie.
They could develop into something that's going to be able to say, okay, I know Fowler's going to make a move right here, be a playmaker. Let me erase that. But right now, I don't see them as being those guys that can come in here and if Fowler.
Murray's coming in.
First year in the system.
Murray's coming in, but I think also with being a veteran, you know how much of a leash you have and a rope that you have.
That's true.
And so
He could have matured. That is true.
that's why I said maturity. So do not count him out for those same previous mistakes.
That's true.
Because now that he knows he has to step up and be that guy for the defensive scheme, he might sit there and say, I have to control the edge and teach the young linebackers, like, hey, make sure you come do this because I'm going to do that right there. So he might be more selfless.
I will trust this coaching staff and Will McClay that they understand what the best version of Dante Fowler is, which is what they're trying to bring back. So I don't anticipate them saying, man, go start. I'm still looking at Nealon and Williams to be a starter alongside Parsons, and you're throwing bodies all together on the other side. Okay. We got Parsons here.
Yep.
Now between Nealon, Fowler, Williams, and potentially who else can I go ahead? Can that position over there, if Mike is getting me my double digit, can we write that down?
Yes, sir.
We can put that in the book. It's proven.
Can we write down, let's say 12?
Let's do it.
Now, let's say he just gives you 12. I'm just 12 from Mike.
You can do it. Yeah.
If these dudes over here can give you their 12 combined or 15 combined, you'll take that.
That's a win.
That is a win.
That is a win.
That is a win. That is better than what you got last year.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Right. So there you go. And that's the ability of not having Tank here. He wasn't there to give you any of that. So that's all I'm looking at it from an early standpoint. We're talking March. They still have the ability to go make moves.
Oh, that's
you
true.
still have the draft coming up next month. But right now, last year we saw, man, the thing that Dan Quinn definitely robbed this team of was depth.
100%.
And you're
Armstrong,
trying to
Fowler.
I was about to say Armstrong, Fowler, and went over there.
Colson, I mean,
They ended
that's a
up
big loss.
and made some names for themselves.
Yeah, they did.
Right.
They did.
So you're trying to get some of that back. That's how I see it.
I do.
I'm not looking for Fowler to be the dude that the Jacksonville drafted.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for that guy.
Nah.
But if he's a positional, rotational piece, Hek'ma, I can live with that.
Yeah, I mean, but all 4 threes aren't made equal, and everybody plays a different scheme in that. And I think not disagreeing with you, I think the point that you make about having that leadership at the second level, which helps your defensive line. We were all kinds of disjointed last season defensively because guys didn't understand the assignment. Maybe it makes it easier for a guy like Dante Fowler to come in and play a system that he is familiar with, right? But what you're talking about with the linebacking core and the way that they back up this defensive line, I still have the biggest question marks in free agency right there because we don't have the time-proof and consistency. I thought that the need was obviously at the 1 and 3. You sign Osa Odigizua to a contract. Okay, can we get some more depth piece behind him? Can we get some more depth behind Mozzie? I mean, that's where we're basically hurting in the center of our defense. On the outside, we have had to deal with Micah Parsons trying to beat double teams and other guys not eating. That's been the biggest bugaboo about this defense. If this guy's getting doubled and triple teamed, where the hell is everybody else? Okay? And so a guy like Dante Fowler, to me, when you bring him in, I'm like, I know what Dante Fowler is going to be able to do on the outside. But in the inside of our defense, I still don't think we've answered those questions.
But you did somewhat answer that question because Solomon Thomas, let's not get this misconstrued. They didn't bring Solomon Thomas in to play defensive end. He can play both of them, but where Solomon has made his money in the last few years has been as a 3 technique. When he was in San Fran, they were like, hey, let's put you out there, and you wasn't the guy, and let's put you back at 3 technique, and he revived his career. So you answered that piece. You paid your big money to Odigizua, so guess what? He's going to be the big guy. Now you have Solomon coming in there. You answered that. And then once again, we still have space to go in the draft and pick up these components, whether it's interior, exterior. If it's me personally, being what I've seen with all the people earlier in the draft, I'm going to go towards that linebacker and secondary, and then later on in the draft, go get me some more D linemen because you have a lot of guys here. Like you said, Sam, Neil, and Fowler right now. We're expecting one of those 3 guys to be the starter, and then you have a rotational piece, and then you bring in a young guy to groom.
Can I address the mess while it's fresh?
What's that now?
Tank and Micah.
Let's take a break.
Can I? Yeah,
take a break. Take a break. He said that's too long of a combo.
Come on now.
What'd he say? Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat
Come on, man. I'm just saying.
Hek'ma wants to be messy.
Stir it up, man.
On the Players Lounge. Brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on Dallas Cowboys.
All right, come on.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Dallas Cowboys Game Day is brought to you by Captain Morgan, the official spiced rum of the NFL. The NFL season is full of legendary tales on and off the field. And when you follow the captain within you, stories become stuff of legends. So gather your crew and visit followthecaptain.com to begin your adventure. Please drink responsibly. Captain Morgan Original Spiced Rum, 35% alcohol by volume. Captain Morgan Rum Company, New York, New York.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1, any broadcast without the express addition of cooked-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12, no crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31, anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
The Dallas Cowboys Girl Flag Football League is here with nearly 100 participating high schools. The Cowboys are thrilled to provide opportunities for athletes to develop their talent and foster the growth of girls flag football in the state of Texas. Find teams, view schedules, and learn more at dallascowboys.com/girlsflag.
Shout out to McCray, baby.
Yes, Danny McCray, our former Players Lounge original founding
father. Yes. Shout out to
great
him.
coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, my man.
Hek'ma Harrison's in the building. Former Cowboy Trey Moore's in the building. Former Cowboy Barry Church is in the building. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. So we spent time on the D-line here. One of the members who's not coming back from the defensive line is now playing with Seattle Seahawks is one Tank Lawrence. And Hek'ma Harrison, I'm going to let you go ahead and take it from there since our man Barry Church also was not here last week. So
No, well, here's the thing. I thought that since as news will have an opportunity to break as soon as we leave the studio, then all of a sudden all the drama starts to break out and unfold. I found it very interesting between Micah and Tank all last week. The media leading story was these two guys that had been teammates for a number of years seemingly have not gotten along.
That's what I read from it.
That's. And look, I just wanted to ask you guys, as former players, and I know obviously the locker room, everybody is not gonna get along in the locker room, but and I don't want names. All right, I don't want to dig up no drama.
Hey, put a name on it.
I don't want to dig up no drama. But have you ever had a situation like that where you were playing with a guy and you thought y'all was fam, and then as soon as the guy leaves, you realize y'all were not?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it happens in both locker rooms I was a part of. It happens. And it happens usually with the top tier, the starters. That's what it usually happens. And, you would think, for me personally, I never was like beefing with anybody in the locker. I never, I was like, hey, man, whatever. It is what it is. There's guys that I like more than other guys, but I never really had beef, at least from my side of things. But, I mean, you see it all the time, whether it's, guys that, aren't doing their job the right way, or, some guy comes in and takes that light from the other guy, and then you'll start to see little fractions break off, and this guy's hanging with this guy, this guy's not hanging with this guy anymore, and then you'll start to hear the chit chats, behind the back says, man, if it wasn't for that dude doing this, man, we could be doing this, we could be doing that, and that it starts off as small chit chat here and there, and then it starts to splinter until getting in the film room and you see it. I told you, if you would have did this would have happened. And then it breaks off into something crazy. And that's what I think happened in this situation. Like, I don't know, the ins and outs. I wasn't in the locker room with D-Law and Parsons and all that. I wasn't there. But you kind of see the little bickering on the sidelines here and there. And then, they're back best friends again. And then all of a sudden when they part ways, it's, I got words for you, you got words for me. So I don't, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I wasn't in that locker room. I don't know. I could be 1,000% wrong. But to me, I don't think they were ever the, kumbaya twins out there. I think it was more of D-Law was the top dog at the time. Parsons came in, young, fresh pup, balled out, and kind of snatched the reins as far as the guy on the defensive line. Yeah. And, I don't think Tank took that well, but he kind of had to swallow it because Parsons was that guy. And he's generational. So he kind of took the reins from him, and I don't think that ever kind of sat well with D-Law. So, when he left, he said what he said, not pointing it directly at Parsons or nothing like that. He was just saying it overall.
He did.
But I don't think he pointed it directly at Parsons. You think he pointed it directly?
He wrote it. He wrote it in a tweet.
What do you mean?
Okay, so the whole thing derived from him saying that it wasn't, and I'm paraphrasing. It's not like we were going to win the Super Bowl.
And that's what I.
But what was the follow up tweet after that?
Yes,
exactly. Get him the fact checker over there. Get him right.
Get him right.
So
I was talking about
Micah.
Get him right so I can get my response. I've been waiting.
Okay, where was this?
Yeah, because I'm looking at the Super Bowl response.
I mean,
and he said I thought he was the whole organization.
And I'm gonna paraphrase it, but in short terms, he basically followed up and said, "Well, maybe that's your problem right there. If you stay off Twitter and stop, like pretty much like everybody said, stop doing interviews and all that stuff, it wouldn't be a problem, and I'll still be there." So,
and he's not the only one that said something about his off the field.
Exactly,
Hooker had his deal with it as well.
He hasn't, and.
All right, here it is.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. So we can get
calling me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left.
I mean,
that's pointing. That went from
that's
pointing
his
at everybody.
To him.
What they say here? Go. I got a wide view, and then as soon as somebody says something, who moved first?
Clap back. So Parsons clapped back, and D-Law has said this. But if we're keeping it a beam,
he hit him
like
with
we always do here.
Yeah.
Could he have come back? No, you can't. I would have stayed. I had a check.
You can, but you have to.
They weren't bringing.
Come on,
you back, man. Come on. You know what I mean? They weren't bringing you back, big dog.
I'm gonna tell you like this: they wouldn't bring them back for that money. If he would have took like a homie discount, this and
like
that,
a super homie.
But he said he wasn't all along. He said he wasn't going to do it.
He knew he wasn't. Exactly.
So
we knew he wasn't coming back.
Man, they never sat around here and gave him a discount.
That would behoove you to do that. But let's get back to the original thing. As far as what happened between them, and I can speak on it because I've been in the locker room with Tank. I love him as a person. It's a hot and fire mixture. Anytime somebody feels threatened in that type of position or just feel disrespected, why are we sitting here trying to mitigate how many times over the years that he's been the bad boy in the media? He says, I want to be the alpha male. Well, guess what? You can't have two alpha dogs on the same D line. And so now that the guy not only come in there, he's an alpha male and he has the production that you no longer have, that dog is still barking at it. And Tank is just not friendly like that. And there's nothing wrong with him. That's what's made him great. A great competitor and put that chip on his shoulder. He's always felt like he had to battle. So guess what? He made an enemy with this guy, but guess what? We're all friends when we're winning. We're all friends when you're making me look good. But let's not get this misconstrued, man. This is not Little League. This is not college no more. We are all grown men and we have a job. I'm looking at the viewers. I'm telling you, I have to feed my family. I don't care about that. Like, when you first come out of college, like, yes, that's cool. Let's go over here. Let's play the game after this and that. But you have grown men that are out here feeding their family and taking millions away from you. So no longer are you winning. No longer are you getting the notoriety. And now you're on a losing team. It's like, now we're fighting for chips and you're taking away my chips. And he spoke on that. Now, granted, do I respect the way that he did it? No. You want to talk about it when you leave? Like, nah, that ain't it. But I understand from D-Law's perspective, understanding him as the player, and understanding the media gave him the bait, and guess what? They went fishing and they got it. So that part of it, I'm not opposed to that. Micah standing up for your team and saying that, yes, rightfully so. Now, where you start to bring in other people have been talking about him off the field and his off the field interviews and stuff like that, that's where the real question is. Like, how much do you really feel like this is taken away? If he really stopped doing these interviews, do you think that time is going to be invested on him making himself better as a football player? Could it be? Yes. Will it be? That's a whole different other story. So how much of that's the real question. Is it really that big of a problem? And is he the sole factor of why we're losing? But don't sit here and try to say, oh, I think they never liked each other. No, they didn't. Because if they liked each other, they wouldn't even be on Twitter. So the fact that they're doing it out there, like, stop trying to draw all this stuff up there. They didn't like each other. They went to work. How many people have you played with? You don't like them, but we have one job to accomplish right here. And while we're on the same team, we're teammates. Take that for what it is. Everybody's not your friend. If you find some few friends, now that you're retired, now that I'm retired, how many players do you actually still talk to and have a good connection with? A few of them, not many. I guarantee you, is that everybody, Barry Church entering the league when he first was there, Jacksonville Cowboys, Barry Church, would have said, oh, all these guys are my friends. As soon as I left, it's like, how many people actually checked on you? Not the initial retirement, but 3 months post retirement saying, hey, how are you doing this and that? And guess what? When you do the math, you'll realize later on you're not that friends. And so that's the harsh reality. It just sucks that the fans are finally seeing this because, like what Mama used to say back in the day, let's keep everything in-house so everybody don't know what's going on. As a true vet, that's what I'm disappointed in this. D-Law should have kept that and text him or did whatever, or Michael should have texted him on the side instead of taking it with the Twitter fingers.
And that's one thing that, I will say. It's one thing to be friends. You don't have, like you said, you don't have to be friends with everybody. No. But you don't have to be envious as well. You don't have to sit there and be like, oh, man, this guy's taking my shine. All right, well, step your game up.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll hate the man just because he's better than you. And that's what I always took from it. Like, all right, this dude may come in and he may ball out. Like, we drafted safeties and corners every year I was in the league. And they getting their shine. Yeah. Do I sit there and am I envious of that? No, I'm not going to sit there and try to hate on the man because they came in and he's trying to take my spot. No. Yeah. Like that to me, and that's why I played as long as I had, because I worried about myself and what I have to bring to the table. I'm not worried about what this dude's taking away from me.
And that's what a lot of people
are doing. I could be cool with this guy, and I could be cool with that guy, and I could be cool with everybody. I'm going to worry about what I got to do. I'm not worried about what this man or the next man got to do as far as taking my position. Like, if he took my position, hey, kudos to you. You took my position. But, man, look, I'm not going to sit here and be mad at or envious over somebody that's coming in and trying to take the shine. Because they're trying to eat as well.
Did he not put him on the podcast? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
They never went on the podcast together. They never had that.
Diggs on the podcast.
Yeah,
exactly. There you go with your Hek'ma.
Look, here's the deal. When you look at it, at the end of the day, I felt like from the beginning it was always going to be a situation of a passing the torch when it came down between Tank and Micah. And we knew what kind of leadership guy Tank was. He was the rah-rah, get everybody going before the game, but also a guy that was that plugged the run, didn't have the big sack numbers. But when it comes down to the alphas, I mean, you got a locker room full of alpha males.
You do.
And that's the management part of the head coaching staff, is to make sure that you manage all of that. To me, it reeks of the organization dysfunction when it comes down to two guys that have played together, balled together, been in the trenches together, and one leaves, and then these parting shots. And and again, for however Tank said it, like you said, they went fishing, they got what they wanted. He fell for the bait. Maybe you should have answered that a little bit different, because a lot of guys, when they leave Dallas, they come back anyway, right? They come back and
I'll say Fowler.
But they come back. They have homes here. They're a part of the community. And for me, it's so much goodwill that you've invested here. You don't want to throw all that away with a comment made in the media. And I don't think that he did. I just thought it was very ugly to see two guys that were stars here go at each other's throat. And what the hell did that do when we were on Sundays against Philadelphia, against the Giants? If you guys are not on the same page out here about this, and you both are millionaires, you both getting paid, okay? This ain't nobody's got alligator arms with them two. Man, pick up the bill. Come on now. I mean, and to see them battle like that in the media and to have thug thumbs and go after each other, like I thought that was ugly, man. It was messy, and I didn't like it at all. And to hear from you guys and to hear that, look, hey, it ain't all love anyway in the locker room, but it's how you handle yourself.
It definitely is. Perception is everything. That's all you got to remember. Somebody is always watching, and like you said, you're building money. Like, you don't want to go out there and diminish that. Like, later on, y'all might want to talk about this, be on the podcast and stuff like that. You never burn a bridge because you never know where that bridge might lead.
No, that is not cotton, bro.
All right, we got to go take we got to take our second break here.
Come on, hey, you shining. I'm looking like, man,
What is that?
I got
red count is
I
crazy.
got on my maroon, my Aggies. Like March
What is that?
Wade Taylor, the best guard in the nation.
Not a lot of people got that.
Yeah.
Are the Cowboys set at the running back position? Let's dive into that at the free.
Why you laugh?
Next, right here. Playing sound.
Let's go.
DallasCowboys.com.
So disrespectful. So disrespectful.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Up next, waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof bags. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take a steak, cornbread, cobbler's pot pie, and potatoes next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're maxing out overhead presses, pushing through chest flies, or being the hero your golden retriever needs to carry them over that scary bridge, Smoothie King has the fuel to help you go all out. Build muscle and boost your recovery with 45 grams of protein, 0 grams of added sugar, and delicious customizable ingredients in the Gladiator Smoothie. Available in chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Only at Smoothie King.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Kendrick Lamar and SZA are bringing the Grand National Tour to AT&T Stadium on Saturday, April 26th. Limited tickets remain. Don't miss one of the biggest shows of the year. Get your tickets today at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
They not like
I know
us.
Newy will be
they
there.
Not like us.
Newy will be
Hey,
there.
Newy, can I be in the suite with you, please?
Man, we need to get the Source Awards here. I've been telling you.
We need to
Tell him one of the Cowboy PR people, man. Tell Jerry to bring the Source Awards here.
You what?
Yes, yes.
You watch it all in the video.
They not like us. They not like us. Come down here.
That's
They got love for the West Coast.
Listen, what
You got podcasts
I'm
over
sorry.
here. We got tweets. We got.
I did not expect that to come out of your mouth.
Source Award,
Have a
man.
video tribute from Suge.
Isn't
That is
Source Awards still here?
Andre 3000.
Wow.
Any artist want to be an artist?
That's-
You hear AT&T Stadium for the Source Awards.
Oh my God.
Y'all need to stop.
Telling you, man.
Y'all need to stop.
That's what we need.
No, that would be
This is a
one-stop
good
shop.
step for Jerry, all right?
I'd be
Oh
there.
my God.
Okay, I've been telling you, because my man I used to go to, he'd send out the press releases. Like another country concert, said, we're going to bring the Source Awards up.
Source Awards.
Bring somebody. So the fact that they brought in, we're bringing Kendrick is big. That's
They
big.
not like us.
But I'm
They
just saying,
not
there's
like
one
us.
level. Okay, we got the Country Music Awards here.
Don't do that.
Bring the Source Awards.
With the source in there.
The community together, man.
Source Awards.
Boy,
baby.
Is the Source Award still around?
Thank God. No.
You know what? Why not bring it back? Jerry, ain't nobody more
Well,
crazy.
if
Jerry.
anybody can do
bring
it.
it back, it's Jerry.
Jerry,
Bring the source back, man.
bring it.
Bring
You
the
could be
source
the
back.
source to the source.
To the source. There
Bring
it
it
is.
back. Bring it back. All right.
No.
Players Lounge, brought to you by Richard Craig Gaming. Hek'ma Harrison, Trey Moore, Barry Church. I'm Newy Scruggs. So, 3 players talking to the media today. Coming up at the 11 o'clock hour, going to be Dante Fowler, Paris Campbell, and Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders, running back. Go along with Javonte Williams, running back that the Cowboys have here. You've got Deuce Vaughn in the running back room. There are rumors galore to say the Cowboys will spend a first or second day pick on a running back. How are we feeling about the running back room now? You laugh. Go ahead, Barry.
I say if you get a first day, like you just said, if you get a first day,
Means first round pick.
Oh, yeah. Second day, if you get a second day guy in there, I think you can be solid. I ain't gonna say you set and you're gonna have that, DeMarco Murray, the running back like we used to seeing from the Cowboys, but I think you would have enough bodies in there and enough talent in there to have some sort of a run game. Now, will this team and this offense run the football? Because we've all heard it before. We're going to run the ball. We're going to be balanced. We're going to do this. We're going to help the defense. And what do they go out there and do? Throw the ball 50 times a game. So I think if they commit to the run with the bodies they have in there, the Miles Sanders, the Williams of the world, you go get you a day 2 guy in there as well, somebody that's super talented, and have just a different assortment of backs, then I believe you can get the job done.
I think they got the job done. They found multiple people in there. All these, like you said, the different assortment of backs. You have your bulldozer in there. You have your scat back. And a lot of these guys haven't had the opportunity. The head coach they have is a run first guy. Then you have all the weapons that they have added. I think. One, you have to go get a day 2 guy. I wouldn't say necessarily reach, and we talked about this plenty of times, Newy. I don't think the Cowboys should reach in that first round. If the guy that you just aren't in love with, I know everybody's saying Ashton Genty, but like the guy from North Carolina, I'm favored of him. But for me, I would trade back and then sit here in a draft like. This is a running back draft heavy class.
Right.
Why you can't sit and wait until the second round? Go get somebody that's good. Or shoot, what's the guy in Tampa Bay, Bucky Irvin? They found what round was he in? When
Fourth round.
Fourth round.
They don't have a fourth round pick.
Okay, but I'm saying you can
Mingo.
Yes, sir.
Why do you keep going back with the Mingo thing?
Man,
That was their fourth round.
That's a fourth round pick.
I know. But I'm saying that you can. I say that to say you can go find you a starter late. There's not a big necessary. You got all your depth pieces.
They don't need to wait.
They don't need to.
They don't need to wait. Stop playing around. You waited last year, you didn't get got. So
That was free agency. That was Derrick Henry.
no, he was even drafted last year. Okay, last year they stopped waiting. Stop waiting. So Thursday, Friday, somebody
Get you somebody.
somebody need to be carrying rock.
Toting that rock.
There is somebody that needs to be toting that rock. But like you said, we just talked about linebackers earlier that you got to fill in, offensive line for all these running backs. Why would you go get 5 or 6 running backs and don't have an offensive line that can block for them?
Oh man.
Your offensive line is not as devastating as you.
It's not as devastating, but they're still
Devastated or devastating?
devastating as you.
it's not devastating,
It's not
but it's
devastating.
devastated.
I would disagree.
Okay.
Oh, look, you lost Zach Martin.
Yeah.
But we knew all year long he wasn't coming back.
You knew that.
Okay? You knew that. So if you take BB off center, put him at guard, put Hoffman at center, you can work with that. Now I go back to this. The great Nate Newton talked about, hey man, I was just a player. Then Emmitt Smith showed up. Now I'm a Pro Bowler. Mm-hmm. You get a really, really good running back. You can make stuff work. When LT was with the Chargers, man, he took some regular dudes. Next thing you know, they looking good. When he was at TCU, man, ran 400 yards. All of a sudden, dudes was
damn.
block for LT.
Look at the two running backs you bring up. You bring up Emmitt. You bring up LT.
That's what
Do you see an Emmitt or LT in this draft right here? Because this is the thing. If you're going to have to run the ball, you're going to have to try for sure in the NFC East. But I have an issue with be positive, Heck. Miles Sanders, Williams, to me, as a tandem. If you're going to keep those guys, and you're also going to go in the second day and draft a running back, somebody's going to be an odd man out in this situation. And I don't think you can keep all four of those running backs because somebody's not going to play special teams.
That's the truth.
So let's just all right. So fine. I mentioned Emmitt. Just look at the Raiders without Josh Jacobs. Look at the Packers with it.
Who's Josh? Who's on this roster? Who's Josh?
No, that's what I'm talking about. Going in the draft, finding a player, finding a running back who can help you. So we're going to throw bodies. We're going to throw hopefully because we've seen of all the positions you've got in the NFL, one of the, in my opinion, tell me if I'm wrong. Isn't running back one of the easiest positions to transition from the college level to the professional level?
100%.
Shoddy says, I want to run the ball. If you're going to help your defense, run the ball.
For sure.
So, okay, granted, it ain't going to be Saquon Barkley because you're not drafting that high. But if Genty is sitting here at 12, the Hampton kid from North Carolina looks like a 3-down back. Mm-hmm. There are guys out here. Yeah. Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State. He's going to come in for Dallas. I mean, there are the ability to say, let's go throw some bodies here at this position and just run the ball. How many times a day Mike talk about we're going to play complimentary football? Next thing you throw 40 a game. Cooper Rush, first start, 40 a game.
But do you overreach for that running back is the question, though. Or if, say you get there, my bad, I'm going to let you get
No.
But, say you get there to 12 and all these running backs drop and now you're sitting here with all of them still sitting there. Do you trade back just maybe one or two positions so you can get more capital?
That's a possibility. You could do it like you did with they did it with Micah. Or they did it with Roy Williams. You could trade and say, hey, look, you know what? We're going to go back 2 spots or 3 spots and get us to 3. That's definitely something that can happen. But what you don't need to do is spend another year talking about we going to wait, and then you waited so long you don't get got. So I'd rather them go ahead and jump on it quick and go get somebody to actually get out here and run the ball.
You want them to get on it quick enough to jump up a position to go get that guy, or stay there at 12 and let's see who falls?
I guess
they don't have enough capital.
What's confusing to me, guys, is we have talked all season about the holes that this team has.
A lot of holes.
It's a lot of holes, and you're asking for this team on draft night to nail it at every pick, and
I mean, nobody ever does. But the opportunity to at least do what they did when they drafted Zeke to say, we have a running back hole, let's fill the hole. That ability is there. Be it if it's not Genty, it could be Hampton, it could be a whole host of other guys. This is a good running back draft. But if your head coach is telling you we won't run the ball, go ahead and get some people out here who can do it.
Yeah.
And your Sanders and Williams, these are guys who are Aldo Ross. They can help teach the guy how to be a professional. But go out here and go get somebody who can help you make a difference. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. They could sit there at 12 and take a wide receiver. Who knows? Who knows what they'll do? They got holes everywhere, like we talked about.
Hold on. What wide receiver would they take?
You take Ted McMillan from Arizona at 12. That guy's a good football player. That guy's a good football player. And, oh, by the way, you need some help over there. Tried to get Cooper Kupp. Couldn't get him. You better go get somebody.
Cooper Kupp.
So they tried.
Cooper Kupp.
I believe it when
they tried to recruit him.
Man.
Yeah.
Recruit him, and Cooper Kupp came in there and said, all this bread, and they ain't give him a bagel. Get him out of here.
I believe it when I see it, man.
All right, John. Fun show. Church, glad you made it.
I'm back, man.
Yes, Lord.
Barry Church, Trey Moore, Hek'ma Harris. I'm Coach. Thanks to Josh, Jazz, Chris Bean, the Bean Kids, everybody helping us get the show done today. We'll talk to you next week.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.